Welcome back, everyone. My name is Echo. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. In today's Minecraft video, we're back on Minecraft Pocket Edition, the Bedrock version, for a brand new beta and preview. This is the version 1.19.30.20. Here is the confirmation from Jay Wells, Megaspud, Minecraft Community Manager. He said, it's time for a Minecraft preview update with more vanilla parity fixes and tweaks. Check out the changelog for 1.19.30.20 here. If you just want the changelog, it is down below. He also said, please continue to send us your bugs and feedback. Enjoy. Great news, now that we are on the beta and preview version 1.19.30, that means over the next 1 to 2 weeks, the Bedrock Edition, all platforms, will get the update version 1.19.20. We have a lot of changes in this week's beta and preview. Parity changes, bug fixes, tweaks, you name it, it's inside of this version. Alrighty, let's check them out. Vanilla parity changes, starting off with general. Enderman no longer gets angry at creative players. We got a bug report. I never knew that this was a problem for such a very, very long time. The status of this is still open and still classed as unresolved. But Enderman starts screaming when the player looks directly into their eyes. I did show you this in a video before, but basically creative look at it. It can kind of get angry at you. That one didn't really show you very well, though. Here is a better video. When the player looks at the Enderman, even in creative, it gives you that angry face. But we can confirm today that they are no longer angry at you. Even when you're in creative, they're no longer angry at you. They will still recognize you as a player, but they are no longer angry at you. They have modified the Fireball Entities collision box to match Java Edition. The enchanting table now produces a sound when enchanting an item. So, item, enchantment table in here. There's that sound. Did it not make it previously? Can't believe that was never a feature. Amethyst blocks no longer produce sound when jumping off them. So, I don't really understand this one when you jump off them. Of course it doesn't make a sound. Maybe it was kind of like a bug thing. Anyway, that's what it says. Moving on to the Deep Dark. Increased Skulk Shriekers and Skulk Sensor generation rates in Deep Dark and Ancient Cities to better match Java Edition. We got a bug report. So this has been a problem for the past couple of versions, betas and previews, and full releases. It's still classed as open today. It's still unresolved, but Skulk Shriekers really generate inside of Ancient Cities, which, again, I think these are all downloaded worlds. Yeah, there is no video of this, but again, the generation should be improved for Bedrock players. It's honestly crazy how far behind the Ancient Cities are on Bedrock compared to Java Edition. Anyway, I do see a Shrieker up there. I do see another one there. I do see quite a lot of Skulk blocks. However, I'm still noticing patches like this are pretty much empty. Now, I know on occasions that can happen, but again, usually you would find definitely the likes of a Shrieker there. Again, it's happening here. I think this is gonna still continue to be adjusted over time. I mean, this one's a much better one here, right? Covered in Skulks. There's your Shrieker. But again, over here, no Skulks, no Shriekers. So it wouldn't surprise me if they revisit this one. You know what I mean? There's 3 on that one, but there was none on that one. Anyway, they keep focusing on this. It's not the first time we've seen this bug reported and so-called fixed. So they'll probably go back to this. Moving on to the melon block. Fixed the bottom texture of the melon block to match the top texture. We've got a bug report. Bottom texture of melon is wrong. It's been reported for a very long time. In fact, versions back as like 1.8, 1.9. In fact, versions such as like 1.2. These are some very, very old reported features. Back in 2018, 2019. Anyway, this is what the bottom of your texture should look like. and on Bedrock Edition, it continued the side texture underneath it. It's been fixed today. So after all of these years, it's now been matched to the top. Finally. I mean, it's weird how it's taken this long to be fixed, but hey, at least it's been fixed. Moving on to mobs. Modified the cat's head position while sitting to match Java. We got a bug report. Here is the report. Been around for quite some time again. Here it is on Minecraft Java Edition. And here it is on the Bedrock version. So I think it's basically to do with the collar. I think on Bedrock Edition, it was a lot lower compared to the Java Edition. It's not really a big difference, but it's been fixed. Moving on to user interface. The item stack pop-up animation will now only play when an item is added to the stack. We got a bug report. Tools in your hotbar do the pop-up animation when durability decreases. Now, I'm going to be honest with this one. I'm not 100% sure what it means. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. But basically, whenever you were losing or gaining like durability of your pickaxes, it would kind of do like a pulsating effect when it was losing durability. That's the only thing that I could think of. And that's the only thing that I can remember when it comes to durability relation things. I actually thought that was a feature for the Bedrock version. Maybe that's what it's referring to. Apologies if it's not. Here's a pretty cool one. If a villager has a name tag, it is now displayed along with their trade tier. We got a bug report. Villagers don't show names while trading. So, here is the Bedrock version. His name is Vinny. It just says level 2 and it's a Fletcher. Meanwhile, if you're on Java Edition, this villager's name is Fred. It says Fred. And he's a novice. So we have a librarian here. Tells us it's a librarian and it's master. Maybe I wanted to change the name from just a regular librarian. I want you to be Big Bob. Well, now it says Big Bob is a master. I mean, this is a really good thing that you could do with this. Let's say this was looting 2. I could name him looting 2. And then when you open this up, it will be looting 2 as well. So yeah, good change, finally. We have some huge changes to Spectator mode, which is still in experimental. Every single feature that I'm going over here does have a bug report. If you're interested in reading it, the changelog is down below. But I'm going to explain it to you the best I can. Endermen no longer become angry at players in Spectator. So that's very similar to what I showed you over there. So if we get a couple of Endermen, do /game mode Spectator. We start looking at them in the eyes like this. No longer angry at me. Doesn't even know I exist, to be honest with me. Can't attack it, can't do nothing against him. So that is one of the changes they've introduced. Players in Spectator mode can no longer interact with skulk sensors by swimming in water or lava. So I am just currently a floating head with a cape right now. If I was to try and bob in and out of lava, previously it would trigger a skulk. Same with water. That no longer happened. I thought this one was pretty cool. Players switching into Spectator mode will unhook any fish hooks attached to them. It says players in Spectator mode can no longer be pushed by explosions. So let's see if we get this one done correctly. So we have ourselves TNT, we have Flint. I'm gonna have to be really, really fast with this one. So in fact, I'm gonna show you what happens. So if you're in just survival or creative, you'll notice here, when an explosion happens, the player is pushed away, right? So if we run this exact same experiment, boom, boom, we're gonna change our game mode to Spectator mode. We are currently just ahead. I don't move. Powdered snow no longer emits particles when spectators move through it. We are a spectator. When we go through it, they're basically a hollow block. And this is also the block state for big drip leafs. Go up and down inside of these. Then nothing happens at all, which again makes sense because you're basically a ghost. Players in Spectator mode now keep their inventories and encrypted items on death. Spectators can no longer attract mobs' attention when holding their favorite food. So if we go back to creative here, we have ourselves a bunch of sheep. As you know, the sheep really loves this. I'm still holding this in my hand. If we go back to Spectator, they're like, oh, where's it gone? I'm just going to eat some grass instead. The /test4 command can now target spectators, and this is quite an important one. It says the spectator game mode can no longer be entered via the /game mode 6 command, only via the /spectator command. So if we go to game mode C, previously for Bedrock players, you could type in /game mode 6. Nothing happens there. You have to type in spectator as of this version. Spectators using touch controls can no longer break boats and minecarts. Pufferfish no longer react to nearby spectators. They seem to have died. Let's go to creative. Let's get ourselves some pufferfish here. So good pufferfish. As you know, in survival, when there's pufferfish, right? Get inside the water with it. /game mode S. If we go to game mode spectator, again, they're just gonna be the ordinary size, but it looks like he's triggered at the sheep right there. So they'll go back to their small, normal state. Darn sheep. Moving on to features and bug fixes. Starting off with blocks. Mud brick slab can now be placed as a top slab via commands. We've got a bug report. Upper mud brick slab does not fill correctly. So that is what they have fixed in this week's version. We move on to gameplay. Pistons animation when extending and retracting is now smooth. So this was quite buggy. Previously on the Bedrock version, it would you would hit it and then it would instantly pop out and the texture would be really, really buggy. So that's now been fixed this week. Moving on to border block. It says border blocks should now prevent passage at all heights, and that is this block right here, which can only be accessed via commands. They're for like map makers. And then we move on to items. It says mangrove, crimson, and warped planks can now be used to repair shields. We've got a bug report. Only been an issue since the 1.19.10 and the beta and preview versions, but apparently you couldn't use the mangrove or the warped and stuff inside of an anvil to repair your shields. You can this time. And we'll use oak, mangrove, and the shield as an example. So previously you could use these to repair it. You couldn't use this previously, but now you can. Moving on to Marketplace. The cannot connect to Marketplace error will no longer be erroneously read by the text-to-speech reader, and that means read wrong. Moving on to mobs. Fixed a bug causing leads to break with the allays after the owner player changes dimensions. Goats. The goat's ram animation was modified to slowly lower their head when preparing to do a ram. Moving on to villages, fixed a bug that really caused the village's bounding box to become desynced with the server when sleeping. Dedicated server, added server property, disable custom skins to block untrusted skins on a server-wide level. More protection for server stability and performance. Fixed a bug causing an occasional crash when loading players in beds. User interface fixed a UI bug where enchanted leather items would have parts of the texture not displaying the glint animation. We got a bug report. Quite a long time bug. Was reported back in 2020. Leather armor item icon doesn't render enchantment glint. So apparently there was parts of this where it was slightly broken. It's been fixed. Added new disconnection error message to better highlight the area in which the disconnection occurred. We have another change with villagers. Raid bar no longer becomes stuck after breaking beds to cancel a raid. So if we do if we do effect at P and we do the bad omen effect, right? And we enter a village, the raid bar loads, /time set night. If you then got into a bed and then just like slept the night away, for example, and then you woke up, the raid bar would have frozen and the raid would not begin. And as always, last but not least, technical updates. Let's read the changelog. If you're interested in the technical side of Minecraft, a few changes to actor properties, add-ons and scripts, commands, marketplace, and experiments. If you want the changelog, it's down below. Go and check it out. I know most of these betas and previews aren't exactly super exciting, but I always told you whether it's a big beta, a small beta, important or not, I would be here to keep you all updated. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Drop a like. Let me know if you made it this far, because if you did make it this far, you are the real MVP, and I do appreciate it, because these videos do take quite some time. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you all in the next video.